It's my most anticipated G.I. Joe Classified Series figure of the year. Today, we're looking at the G.I. Joe Commander, General Clayton Hawk Abernathy, on Way I Got It Figured.
The Way I Got It Figured.
What's up, action figure fans? Way I Got It Figured, back with another G.I. Joe Classified Series review. This time we're looking at number 103, General Clayton Hawk Abernathy. So, you know, as I said in the intro, this is my most anticipated G.I. Joe Classified figure of the year. Why? Because Hawk is the leader of G.I. Joe, as far as I'm concerned. Always was, always will be. So happy to get this figure. I actually got him on eBay for $29.99, but with free shipping. So, you know, you add all that up, I probably paid a little bit less than the $24.99 that he would cost by the time it got shipped to me. I was cool with that. I just didn't want to be waiting until December. I just couldn't wait anymore, so I just went ahead and grabbed one. And we got some stuff to talk about. So, Hawk is the original field commander of G.I. Joe. Originally released by Hasbro in 1982 with the mobile missile system. He sort of flew under the radar from the toy aspect, whether that he was the commander. If you didn't know the ranks, he was an 06, which was a full bird colonel. And you had to read the comic book to know who he was. Now, there is the cartoon comic book commercial that introduces the whole G.I. Joe team, and they actually, you know, he's the only named character in the entire commercial, leader of the G.I. Joe team, Hawk. So if you had known that, then you knew he was the leader, but if you didn't see that commercial, then you kind of maybe didn't know if you didn't get the mobile missile system. You know, and that's no offense to Duke or whatever happened on the cartoon, but, you know, my guy's Hawk always was, always will be. So this version of Hawk is the version 2 from the Real American Hero, which is absolutely the most popular version of Hawk. And he comes with quite a few accessories that we need to go over. And we will, but of course we're going to go over his package first, like we always do. So he's got a very nice bit of artwork there. And then his toy photography, battle poses, a lot going on here. G.I. Joe headquarters in the background under heavy assault with the stun and the triple T there. So, you know, you got that coming. And then there's somebody flying in a winged sort of jetpack, and it pretty much looks like Hawk version 3. If you ask me, you can't zoom in on it and see anymore. It's actually sort of like blurred out, obviously on purpose. So who knows? That might be a little look into the future. And we've got his weapons loadout. And there's only 3 unique pieces here. Everything else is reuse. Got your much larger portrait of Hawk here on the side. You can kind of see his gray hair sticking out a little bit there. There's a QR code with an image of Hawk there and the small file card symbols. Then on the back, you got your tail of the tape. Hawk stands at a very average 6.3 inches. And you can see his helmet. Got it in the insert there. Yo Joe on his jacket. And then we've got his file card symbols that I'll show you, but I know them by heart. 4 command, 2 light weapons, 4 artillery, and 4 tactics. G.I. Joe Commander is one of the most highly rated Joes in the organization, which is appropriate. So let's look at the packaging. Now checking out his accessories. We're going to start with his helmet. So he's got the, what do they call this? Like the Sherman style helmet, I think. And there's a lot of detail here. You can see his general star. You even got a couple of dings and dents to show that he's not just wearing the helmet for show. That he gets out there on the field like all the other Joes. That's why they'll do anything he asks them to do, because they know he's not asking them to do anything he's not willing to do himself. Then, aka a la Dusty, you get the 2 sets of goggles. One larger set to go on the helmet, one smaller set to go on Hawk himself. Then we have over here his weapons and accessories. So we're going to go 2 by 2 on them. So first is this shotgun. This shotgun is the same one that comes with CoverGirl from earlier this year, as well as this extended barrel. I don't know if this is a 45, but it's an extended barrel handgun. And it also comes with CoverGirl, except hers has paint apps. Then you've got this other, also 45-ish looking gun. And this XM79 grenade launcher that comes with the retro card Gung Ho, as well as this pistol. So, you know, what's happening here isn't just, oh, we gave him Gung Ho's gun and pistol, and CoverGirl's gun and pistol. It's the gang molding process. So these things are molded together. So, you know, on the sprue, when they make Gung Ho's accessories, the gun and the pistol are on the same sprue. So if you mold one, you're molding the other. Same with CoverGirl's weapons. If you mold one, you're molding the other. So they gave him, you know, weapons off of a sprue that, you know, that will work for him. Honestly, I mean, it's nice to give him extra weapons, but I would have preferred to give him like an M16 or something, but then that would have required some other gang molding. So I do think that it's okay what they gave him. I'm not a fan of this Gung Ho pistol. I mean, it's fine for Gung Ho. And I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. And they all have blast effect ports, by the way. All of these weapons. I just, you know, I don't know. I just feel like there's a better looking gun for them. But that's the accessories. And we're going to get into a little bit of customization here too. A couple of things I decided to change. Well, really one thing I decided to change. Using stuff that I already had. Didn't have to go buy anything to do it. So looking at Hawk here, you can see all the detail they put into him. Very nice. They gave him the, you know, sort of graying hair, a little bit of age to his face. And this is fine. And in 1986, the version 2 Hawk, they gave him brown hair, which, you know, was actually pretty controversial back in the day when everybody, you know, who knew about Hawk knew he was a blonde guy, and in the comic book he was always blonde. So while this is fair based on what was done. I prefer Hawk to be blonde. Who knows, maybe we'll get a retro carded one, you know, on the stalker body that that has blonde hair, maybe looks a little younger. We'll see. For now, you know, this will do for now. I'm looking at his bomber jacket. Of course, you got the Abernathy on here, if you can see that. And he's got all these medals. But the thing about it is, the medals are not accurate really to anything, which I guess they can't do anymore because, you know, military things are copyrighted and trademarked. Like this wing here looks like a colonel wing, even though he's a general and he's got stars there. It's odd. But on the original figure of this version of the character, you know, he had a infantry rifleman's badge. He had a an airborne jump, you know, parachute with wings. This is supposed to be a parachute with wings. He had more realistic, you know, accurate symbols on the jacket. And I get why they had to do it. And then another change is, of course, that the stars used to be on the jacket. Now they've moved them to the shirt. And that's okay. I get it because, you know, once again, that's probably more practical because of the articulation of the figure. So I can live with that one. I mean, I can live with all of it. I don't want to make it sound like I can't live with any of it. I understand why. I still would prefer, you know, authentic things. Of course, you got the United States flag here. And the G.I.Joe patch here. And all of this, his upper half is new. His lower half is actually Outback. So he's got Outback's pants and boots. And that works. You know, he is a part of the 50-50 wave. And then I believe his sleeves, this part of his arm, are stalkers. And his hands, with what we might think is the strange trigger hands, they're actually the evil twin brother, Tomax and Zamok's hands. They have these same hands. So there's all the reuse and everything. With that, looking at his articulation, he has the drop down arms, so that if you want to do a T-pose, you gotta drop them like that. You can still do it. Still got the butterfly joint. He is using the new articulation scheme in terms of the ab crunch, you know, basically like bazooka, even though it's almost non-existent, but it is there, but it's almost non-existent. I mean, he is wearing a bomber jacket, so, you know, I don't know how much deep posing you're really going to do with him. Still drop down legs, of course, because, you know, that's parts we've already seen. Usual arm bends and rotations. I feel like his hand will come out if I pull on it hard enough, and it does. So his hands are, he doesn't get extra hands, but they're removable. As you can see. And, but I don't know if the camera's getting it, but like the texture of the jacket is pretty cool. You know, they poured a lot of detail into this figure. They knew they were making Hawk, that's for sure. And I feel like they did a good job with it. You want to nail this guy. That's for sure. And I do think they did. So he looks down pretty good. Looks up okay. Again, you know, how deep posing are you really going to be doing with him? While he does get on the field, he's still usually in the command position. But yeah, man, very, very, very pleased. Very pleased to have this guy. So let's get him geared up. All right, so we've got Hawk geared up with how I'm gonna gear him up anyway. Like I said, these weapons are cool, but I'm not really gonna use them. My Hawk's a pistol guy. Maybe an M16 if I can get one. But, you know, here he is. Geared up with his stock accessories. How you're gonna probably have him look most of the time. And he looks great. Now for your variant look, of course, you can put the goggles on his face. And then stick the helmet on like that, and it looks fine. But I'm going to keep him OG. There's a lot of nostalgia with this figure. I mean, he was the first 1986 figure that I got. I probably had 6 or 7 1986 Hawks. If one was used up, I would just get another one. And in fact, I don't own very many Real American Hero figures anymore, but I still own a 1986 Hawk and a 1985 Snake Eyes, as you know, because I did a video on it. But there you go. Hawk geared up. Now, we're going to get rid of this. This is the stock gung-ho pistol that he comes with. And we are going to give him this actual M911 that comes with Spirit. I'm going to stick it in there. And as you can see, it fits super neatly. But again, that gang molding process, if they make Spirit's gun, then they gotta make Spirit's rifle, and that wouldn't look right with Hawk at all. So I get why they did it, but I don't have to do that. That's gonna be Hawk's pistol. And I considered swapping out CoverGirl's pistol for Hawk's, just to give Hawk that more deluxe kind of look. But, you know, Hawk's not, he doesn't care about silver pistols. He's Hawk. The black one will do just as well. So CoverGirl will get to keep hers. Spirit's gonna, at least for the time being, rock the gung-ho pistol. It does fit in his holster, as you'll see here in a second. And honestly, he's never having a firearm, a sidearm in his hand anyway. It's just almost for decoration. So, you know, he'll gladly donate his figure, his pistol to Hawk. So let me do some comparisons here. Be right back. All right, so for comparison, first we will bring in Spirit Iron Knife. Spirit, I guess, stands at 6.2 inches because he's a little bit shorter than Hawk. And here's CoverGirl. Yeah, I strategically picked these guys because of the weapons so that you could see all of the weapons. And we'll bring in the big boy, Retro Card Gung Ho. But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring in one of the other OG 13 Joes. His first executive officer, so to speak, Stalker. And then, of course, Duke, also at 6.3 inches. And finally, Flint. So there you go. There's your comparisons. See how Hawk stacks up with the rest of the Joes. I'm going to move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on G.I. Joe Classified Series number 103, General Clayton Hawk Abernathy. Man, oh man, what a long wait it's been. The wait's finally over. We got him. And, you know, I am super pumped to have him. You know, I would say he'd be a 10 for me, but because he has reused parts, just following my own rules, I can't give him a 10, but I can give him a 9 with an asterisk. The 10 for happiness, but the 9 for, you know, reality. It's a great figure. They did a great job with it. Even in things I'm not 100% happy about, I don't blame Hasbro for them because I understand reality. And, you know, it's not like I'm sitting there looking at the medals on his chest every second of the day. So from a, you know, eye test perspective, what you see is what you get. That's Hawk. And I'm going to, you know, leave it there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the videos. We got more G.I. Joe Classified series coming next month. The Hiss Tank. I still got regular figures to review that I haven't gotten around to. I definitely jumped Hawk up to the front of the line. So, you know, be on the lookout for more G.I. Joe Classified reviews in December. That's going to do it for this one. Everybody, thanks for watching. And we'll see you on the next video. Stay safe. Peace.
The way I got it figured.